Welcome to the Take Charge of Change podcast, and this podcast will help you to lead a more resilient professional and personal life by sharing great content to make you smarter, more energetic, emotionally healthy, financially confident, so you accomplish your professional and personal goals in spite of the challenges that are sure to come your way. Well, hi everyone, Sean Humphreys here. Welcome to this edition of the Take Charge of Change video podcast. Well, this podcast is a continuation of some previous podcasts we've been doing on the book by Eric Greitens titled Resilience. Eric Greitens was a Navy SEAL, many academic achievements, and is just an amazing young guy and shared amazing wisdom in this book. And so this is the fourth installment of our reflections on the book Resilience. We ended the last video talking about the importance of character precedes achievement. A lot of people want to achieve things and make progress and have what they deem to be success in life. But that's not going to happen unless you put together the foundational character qualities that are necessary to have not just achievement, but to sustain it and to be productive for a lifetime. Character qualities like patience and perseverance and grit and tenacity. Those things are absolutely vital that we need to nurture and build into our lives to be able to sustain the achievement and the progress towards goals and objectives, irrespective of the hurdles and the inertia that we face in life. Now, one of the things that Eric Greitens talks about is the absolute importance of understanding that emotions can be harnessed, that feelings can be trained. We don't have to be a slave to our emotions and feelings. That we are human. Our humanity means that we have both reason and we have emotion. He talked about the fact that our humanity, our soul, is like the chariot or the chariot rider, and that there's two horses that pull that chariot. The one horse is our passions or our appetites or our emotions, and the other horse is the horse of reason. And we actually need both to be effective in life. Emotion can be harnessed so that we can achieve amazing things. When you combine reason and purpose with emotion, that's a really, really dynamic, incredible combination that will drive you to success. So if you're feeling jealous, you're human. And if you're jealous, you're often losing control. Emotion is good if you can learn to harness it. And that's really the prerequisite here in terms of being resilient. We need to understand that very often our actions will drive our emotions. We talked about this before. So think about how you'd feel if you did the following. You helped someone, you were of service, you were eating well, you were resting, right? You were exercising regularly, you were giving back, you were making donations, you were mentoring someone to help them grow in their abilities. All of those things would contribute in a very powerful way to your emotions, and that would continue to fuel your ability to make progress in life. So we need to challenge ourselves to look at the actions that trigger our emotions. We have the ability to exert a high level of control over those things, but we have to become reflective and understand what our trigger points are. So if the feelings you have are killing you, right, are hurting you, are keeping your professional or personal goals from being accomplished, how can you change them? Well, mastering and managing our emotions really is a daily and a regular event. It never ends. So it's not like you kind of master it and you don't have to worry about it. It's almost like you have to do a reset each and every day and resolve that you are not going to be a slave to your emotions. You're actually going to work hard to reset at the beginning of the day, make an intentional list of the emotions that you want to experience through the day that will be supportive of the goals that you want to achieve. Like I said before, your actions will shape your state, and you want to decide who you want to be and then act that way. Don't wait for your emotions to come along beside you. Just identify what actions you want to take, how you want to exhibit yourself in the world, and then take the necessary actions to achieve those things. So when you claim an identity, at first, you may have to fake it a little bit. So when we talked about in the previous podcast that we need to, set our goals and objectives and the identity that goes along with those things, that's the first prerequisite. When we go in that direction, it doesn't always feel comfortable, right? We feel a little bit out of our skin. And so you literally have to fake it until you make it. We've heard that comment before. So engage with who you want to become. That's really the story behind that particular point. Now, there are identities that we didn't consciously choose, and we need to be aware of these influences and if necessary, achieve them. So again, we have various identities in our life, how we look at ourselves, and we've talked in previous podcasts when we look at the area of resilience that our childhood is very formative in terms of our maps of the world. And so it's very important that we go through reflection exercises to understand what our identities are, how we see ourselves in the world, and some of those we may have to go through an intentional process of changing those things. Now, when it comes to leadership, and particularly in a professional world and in our family life, people need us to be strong. They need us to be resilient. Now, that doesn't mean that we can't be real, but we need to grow as a result of the challenges we face and become stronger. That's why cultivating personal resiliency is so important. We don't want to be taken out of the game. So whether it's family members or children or employees, people or organizations we work with, rely on our fact that we're going to do the necessary things behind the scenes to cultivate resilience so that we can get through difficult challenges and come out of those challenging times stronger. Now, too often, way too often, we put tools before people when we look at this whole area. Be very conscious of that. We live in an area of technology, and we can do so much with technology, and we tend to be very expedient with relationships. Remember what we talked about before as it relates to relationships. We need to cultivate them, nurture them, have a rich fabric of relationships that enhances resiliency, that enhances our ability to make better decisions. And part of our humanity is building those strong relationships. Never allow the tools, technology tools, to get in the way of people. People always should come first. That's what makes a true difference in terms of our ability to be leaders and to build resiliency, not just in our lives, but in the lives of our families and the lives of our co-workers and the people that work with us. One of the sayings that Eric Greitens had mentioned was from his Navy SEALs day, where they would always say, and they had lots of technology, humans before hardware. Well, I hope you enjoyed this edition of the Take Charge or Change podcast. We have the ebook, The Resilient Professional, 15 chapters of great content. If you want to go on a journey to building enhanced resiliency, cognitively, relationally, financially, professionally, then be sure to go to our website, download that free book, and we will look forward to getting feedback from you on that, and all the best as you pursue professional and personal resilience.